We are live. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome. Come on in. Climb up Lindy's Treehouse. I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse. And it is Thankful Thursday. Woo. I'm so glad you're all in the house already. Up in the treehouse, that is. I don't know what I'm saying tonight. I got some chatters in the house. I'm super excited. We got Scooby-Doo in the house. What's going on, Scooby-Doo? And we got Bill H in the house. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for climbing up and joining me tonight. This is like my favorite day of the week. It's Thursday, Thankful Thursday, because I really look forward to this. I look forward to seeing my peeps. And Scuba says, I has my socks. They came yesterday. Yay! Scooby-Doo got his socks. You just reminded me. Oh, no. Scott says, damn, no, I can't get you to trade, Scuba. Oh, my gosh. Good thing you reminded me, because I have another pair to give away. Give me a minute. Let me go grab my other. I have another pair of socks in the drawer behind me. So let me go grab it so I can show everybody. Hi, Scotty. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in, my chatters. Climb up the treehouse. Say hi to your peeps. Come up to the chat room. And if you're all just watching, my lurkers, my watchers, my viewers, excuse me, all that stuff, thanks for hanging with me. I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse, and we're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, I love it. The chatters just talk amongst themselves, and you never know where the conversation's going to go. I have a lot of stuff to cover tonight. I hope that you're all having a great week so far. Tell me if you've been flying, or let me know what the weather is in your world. It's like 69 degrees here today. Very hazy. But I did manage to get a 4-mile walk in today. So I walked down to the bayfront, and it was nice. Just kind of borderline on the way back. Got a little bit warm, but not too bad. But it was a nice walk. But like I said, the smoke and everything, very hazy. But, the air and all that. But it's nice. Because then on the way back, I stop at my little mom and pop store, and get my water, my snacks or whatnot, and I head back to the house, and it's pretty cool. But I'm not going to be able to walk to the college. I usually, change it up. I walk down to the bayfront, or I walk over to the college and I walk the indoor track if the weather's not that great. But the college is going to be closed all the way till the second week of July, because they're doing maintenance. So guess what that means? I'm going to be doing a lot of walking down on the bayfront for the next month. And the thing is, I have to stay really, I got to stay really vigilant and, start walking more while the weather's nice, because wintertime, you can't do nothing. Bill says he's been flying. And Scuba says, only Bill gets to fly. You guys are awesome. You are awesome. I'm glad that everybody, is trying to get up in the air when they can. You pay all that money for that beautiful trikes and all that. And I know I probably asked you this, Bill. Do you fly a trike, or are you still doing the other one? Hey, Will Fly's in the house. Will Fly says hello to all my wonderful friends in scuba. Yay, Will Fly. Yeah, Will Fly, your socks should you should be getting yours in the next couple days. Yes, sir. And Scooby got his socks yesterday. So I can't wait. I definitely want to see a video with you guys wearing your socks when you're up in the air flying. All right, make sure. I was asking Bill H. If he has a trike. I always forget. And Will Fly said you mail them together. Scuba's went out last week, and yours, and then Scuba's. I mailed his right before right after Memorial Day, and then and Will Fly, I just mailed yours yesterday, so you'll be getting your socks pretty soon. So I'm going to just kind of chit chat here with y'all till I get more chatters come in the house or whatever, stop by and all that good stuff. I know Tony and Angela are busy moving into their house. I'm super excited for them. I remember those days. Yes. My first, I think we talked about last week, but my first house that I bought was in Michigan, of course, and with my first husband. And we bought a cute little bungalow in the Detroit area. And that was in the 70s, mid 70s, right? 77. Let's see, I got married in 1977. So it was probably 79. I think we bought a house. And it was pretty exciting. Pretty exciting to have a house, because we were living in like a little upstairs apartment kind of thing, like I live in now. And we knew we were going to have Robert, so it was time to get a house. So it's pretty cool. Will Fly says, I hear you've been flying up a storm at Bill H. He's talking to Bill H. That's so cool. I'm glad you guys, when I see some videos, some cool videos, people going on their tandems, and I get I get kind of bummed, because I think, I should have went up in the air, and now I'm kicking myself. But it's always next year, and at least I was able to get up in the air those 3 times that I did, right? So I know I talk about it a lot, but so I'm hopefully next year, I'll be able to get up there, get up in the air again, get another tandem. Hopefully, the weather will be a little better. Bill H was last week, and I went to a fly-in and flew a couple times this week. That's cool, Bill. What flying did you go to last week? I know Fly the Fort. That was last weekend or the weekend before, because Joe Adele, I think he went to that, because that's in his nook of the woods, or however you call it. So I think he went there. He was flying there and stuff. Bill H is not listed on the USPPA. I liked it when the USPPA, when Eric Lear, did the calendar and all that. And then he put me, it's like I was the representing Torchport for a couple years. And that was super fun. Torchport is an awesome air park. I just love it. Bill said it's called Breeze Field Fly-In. Oh, wow. I never heard of that, Bill. That's cool. I'm glad you got to fly. Yeah, I'm really glad I'm saying, foot launch. If you foot launch. Hey, John Wayne, Cowboy's in the house. What's going on, Cowboy? Good to see ya. Cowboy just tied up his horse, and he's ready to climb up the tree and hang out with us in Lindy's treehouse. Will Fly, so Torchport is one with the awesome fireworks, isn't it? Yeah, Will Fly. Yep. I never got to see the fireworks yet, because I never would spend the night or whatever. I'd always go on Saturday. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, I'd fly, and then I'd go home or whatever. But because my daughter-in-law would, drop me off for the day and all that. But it's pretty cool. I guess the flying went really well. They had a lot of people. I guess a lot of people, my son said when he was running some errands, they drove by Torchport the day that the fly-in was going on. He said there was a lot of people there. And I was like, dang it. But, maybe next year, because I didn't have my peeps there. John Wayne says, crazy weather here blew me out of the sky. Oh, no. You don't want to do that, John Wayne. You're not Mary Poppins. You know what I mean? You're just not Mary Poppins. Don't mind me. I'm looking for all my notes, everybody. I am coming back. But me and my notes and all that stuff. We'll do a little trivia tonight. Welcome, chatters and listeners. And I just want to give a shout out to all my subscribers. My subscribers numbers are going up, and my viewers are going up, and I'm super, super excited about that. And like I said, I have to thank all of you because I couldn't do it without you. I really couldn't do it without you. I've got, I have a lot of fun with this. And I am no professional by any means. You know what I mean? And I'm going to say hi to Munchkin. If Munchkin's out there, I love you, Munchkin. But I've been looking up a lot of news, and I call it news to me. And John Wayne says, finally got some tomatoes before the Blue Jays got to them. Oh, yeah. I've been seeing a lot of birdies out lately. A lot. I think I told you last week that my neighbor downstairs, there was a baby deer on her porch, right? Just like not right in front of her door, but on the side. The baby deer was laying on the, trying to stay warm because it was kind of cold last week. Well, a few hours, the baby was there in the morning or whatever. And a few hours later, my friend, she said she went out on the porch and she looked up and the mama deer was not too far away, right? But far enough to see her. And I was like, what did you do? And she goes, what she did, she made eye contact with the mama deer, and then the mama deer left and went back into the brush or what, right by the house where I live. So my friend said she grabbed a blanket, wrapped up the baby deer in the blanket. And I said, what are you, the deer whisperer or whatever? And, because I said the mama could have charged at her easily, right? And what is it? Scuba says, damn, I thought you said tornadoes after talking about wind. Oh my goodness. No tornadoes. Anyway, long story short, yeah, she wrapped up the baby in the baby deer in the blanket. And she carried it all the way over on the other side of the parking lot where my house is, and put it, in the ravine where she knew where the mama was. And I told her, I said, you're lucky you didn't get stomped because, mamas are very protective of their babies. So, and Molly says hi. Everybody saw Molly. Yes, Miss Molly. So anyway, yeah, that was pretty crazy. She's crazy anyway, but yeah, she literally picked up that deer, wrapped up the deer in the blanket, and gave it to mom, dropped it off to mama. And I guess mama came and got it, whatever. But yeah, so that's my story. So what else, everybody? Tell me, yeah, how's the weather over there by you guys? Will Fly says, hey, Molly. I've been watching my storm chasers in Texas. Texas is getting hammered right now again for Texas. And like I said, I went on my walk today and did 4 miles, and it was very hazy out. But it wasn't a bad walk at all. I think I'm building up my stamina because there's certain, because I told you when I walk down to the bay and I walk back, you're going uphill. And sometimes it can get, I get a little winded or whatever going up back home, up the sidewalk. But I didn't today. I wasn't winded at all when I came home. So that's pretty cool. Scuba says looks dark like rain here, but nothing yet. And Scuba says windy today, but tomorrow looks good, of course, on show day. What's show day? You mean your podcast? Your podcast day? What's show day? Your live stream. Sorry, your live stream. Yeah, I know. Okay, I just have to say, what do I have to say? I'm going to say I'm Paramount USA, and this is Lindy's Treehouse. If you're just joining us, I'm here every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Will Fly says, take your sunglasses off at Scuba. Scuba says, yes, live stream. I know. I always say podcast. My son, before I get into my news to me, I read all the stuff, weird stuff that's going on in the world. No politics, but just funny stuff, you know how I start my show or whatever. See, now I sidetrack myself really easily anymore. What I was going to talk about before I started with, have you guys heard of that? It's called Grok, Grok. My son talked me into, it's kind of like an AI thing, but he uses it all the time. It's called Grok. And he said it's better than that chat BT, whatever they call it. There's so many of them out there. Anyway, so I'm going to start using that to kind of help me with my, with my show to get more creative. Have you guys heard of that? Grok, Grok. He loves it. My son loves it. Ryan's one that told me about it. And so he helped me set it up. It's just an app. It's free and all that. But it's supposed to be, it's pretty cool because you just talk to it. Scott says Grok is the Tesla AI. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to keep that app on my phone, but I played with it a little bit today. And, you ask a question and it's always like, sure, what do you need to know? And then they give you ideas or whatever. But there's so much out there. And, everything's going to robots and kiosks. I had a friend on Facebook that she went to a hotel and she had to check in on a kiosk. So you're not even talking to a real person. And the kiosk, when she was talking to this person, she said she couldn't understand her. And they had no they had no recognition of her reservations. How crazy is that? Will Fly said lost money on Tesla today. Dang it. Bill H says, is that an iPhone app only? I don't think so, Bill. I don't think so. I've got, I have an Android. So I think you can use it on either one. Because I think, my son has an iPhone. So you should be able to use it. Yeah, my son has an iPhone, and then he told me the birds are going crazy out here. He's got an iPhone or whatever. Pretty sure he does. So it's a pretty cool app. Eventually, I'm going to have to start getting used to that stuff. But so I don't know. My friend, like I said, she went into the hotel and to get checked in, and she had to go on a kiosk, and what a mess. I remember at the airport, half the time at the airport, the kiosks are broke, it's pretty much, and I've heard people that, go through drive-throughs and you don't even talk to a person. It's all automated. So it's, well, 10 years from now, I won't care, right? 10 years from now, I won't give a crap. But yeah, it's pretty crazy, pretty crazy. So everybody, it looks like we're all sitting in our chairs up in the tree house, and we're getting ready for Lindy's tree house. Yes, Paramount USA, right here. I'm your host, and yeah, I talked to Michelle, my Michelle Thumper, and she's still working a lot during the week, so I'm gonna just stay with Thursdays. I thought about Wednesday, change it to Wednesday, but I'm just going to keep it on Thursday. It's no big deal. I'm not even going to stress it. It's stupid. Tony, Mr. Vegas in the house. Sorry I'm late. We got some rain today. Yeah, did you, oh yeah, Tony, did you feel any earthquakes today? Because I guess there was an earthquake, a 3.3 earthquake at the Air Force base, Nevada military base. No, yeah, here, I got it in my notes here. It said 3.3 earthquake hit Nevada military base known for testing nuclear weapons. Holy moly. Did you all hear that? Did you feel the earthquake today, Tony? Yeah, they had an earthquake today. That was one thing I wrote down on my paper. Scary. Tony said, just in my bedroom. Just in your bedroom, good Lord. No, I thought about you when I saw the Vegas thing. Yeah, I watch on YouTube a lot of the YouTubers that walk through Vegas and go inside in the casinos, and it's kind of cool. Because I want to see what it all looks like now, because I haven't been to Vegas like in umpteen years, So yeah, it's kind of cool to have these guys walking through the casinos and all that stuff. So anywho, Angela's in the house. What's going on, my pretty lady? How are you? Did you feel the earthquake today in Vegas, Angela? Because it said they had a 3.3 earthquake hit Nevada military base known for testing for nuclear weapons. That's just absolutely crazy. I'm going to go over here, and because the reason I keep turning back, I have everything on my table behind me, and I like to show off my beautiful desk and my beautiful, like to show off my beautiful desk chair, and it's called the shredded look, and yeah, it's pretty popular now. This chair is worth a lot of money. You know why? Because I'm sitting in it. See, yes, it's worth a lot of money now. Angela says still unpacking, and will fly. So Angela, you guys, this is moving so fast. Let me see. I'm trying to follow it. Are all you guys finished moving in yet? I remember. Walter's in the house from Australia. We know it is. Let's see. That is tomorrow. Bill said he's been watching the volcano in Hawaii. All right. And John White says, hey, Angela. And Tony says, hey, Walter. Walter's in the house. Scuba says, I'm trying to keep door closed now to avoid that. And so we got Walter Sugar in the house. Well, now it's cooler weather. We got the summer, and now, yeah, Walter's got the winter, right? Angela says, not even close. We'll have to replace everything Tony threw away. Oh, I don't miss moving at all. Oh my gosh, I do not miss moving at all. So chatters, viewers, all that stuff. Give me a minute. I'm going to grab those socks out of the drawer over here, okay? Be right back. That's it. Holy moly. Good golly, Miss Molly. That's what we say every day. Good golly, Miss Molly. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back down here. Wonder if you can homestead the lava in Hawaii as it forms new property, John Wayne said. And just as I worked from home today, but never felt any earthquake. Yeah, there was one. Walter says, yes, winter here, very windy today, might fly with no choice. Oh, gosh. Tony says, didn't know we had an earthquake today. Yeah, check the news thing. Seriously. Yeah. And Will Fly says, though and Angela was going to be a co-host tonight. What's up with that? No, she was only going to be a co-host if I was going to do it on Wednesdays. That's Tony's fault, Angela, that John Wayne said. And Scott says, hello, Tony and Angela. And Angela said, it's Tony's fault. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome to jump in the studio when you get all settled. I sure could use a co-host. That's for dang sure. But I'm doing pretty good at scrolling through the chat tonight because I grab my mouse and I just kind of watch because it'll say new comments. And so these are my last pair of Airhead socks, everybody. I'm going to have to make another run to the dollar store to get some more socks, and they may not necessarily be these, tell me what, let's see, Angela says, Will told her if she switched it to Wednesdays. Yes. We should definitely change it to Wednesdays. I don't want to change to Wednesdays though. I like my Thankful Thursdays because I don't want to give, who the satisfaction. Okay. You know what I mean? Because I was here first. And it's just silly to have to change it and everything. But Angela could still be anytime she can still be my co-host. She can stay, she doesn't have to stay on all night or whatever, for 2 hours. She can come in for an hour and say hi and all that stuff. You don't have to stay on, because like next week, the other show and all that. But I really don't want to change it because it's just too confusing. I've already got everything on I'm used to tonight. I've already got everything on my, on my stickers here, that I'm on Thursday nights and all that. And I just want to keep it. Scuba says those look different. Yeah, they are a little bit different, huh? They say Airheads. Well, look at the colors. They're a little different. Yeah. Thank you. I didn't even notice that till I took it out. I think it's the letters are the letters are a little different or something on the socks. But I'm gonna get more. Tell me what colors you guys like for socks or what you I like it because they have some things that have like Cheetos on them, like food stuff on them. So I'll see what I can find. Welcoming to Wednesday has a nice ring to it, just saying. Oh, Will Fly. I really have to think about this. I really, really do. I know football season is coming up and everything and all that. And I don't think JD's going to be doing a show on Wednesday nights anymore, but I will talk to her though, just mention it to her because, right? Because that used to be her night. Angela says, thought you didn't believe in science, Walter. Mine has no stripes. Oh, okay. Nor do mine. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, they're kind of cute, right? But like I said, I grabbed like the last four off the shelf. Walter says I'll be back watching drag racing live from Queensland. Winter Nats. Winter Nats? The Winter Nats. So anyway, yeah. So we got these Airhead socks. It's my last pair, and then when I go back to when I get back to the dollar store, I'm gonna see what else they have, and I'll find some other ones. Will flies to Paramount. I'm just kidding with you. Thursdays are just fine. I know. I thought about Wednesdays. I did, but I really worked hard to get to this point on Thursdays, and everybody, it seems to be working, so it's okay. But if anybody's watching and all that stuff, and my viewers, I'm Paramount USA, and you're at Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm here every Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you're hitting the like button and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on all the fun on Thursday nights. So we always do trivia. I always do word of the night. I haven't decided what word I'm going to use yet. So, but you can't win if you don't play. So we still have koozies to give away. And if you win again, you win again. If you win another koozie, you win another koozie. And I'm going to order some more koozies too for the summer. And then, of course, stickers. I still have stickers left. So y'all got to get in the, but you have to be in the chat to win. And then my last pair of these cute socks. Right. Okay. So let's get down to business here. I've got some really cool stuff here. News to me. Okay. So they said that, another bear story. There was a bear found napping in Florida in the condo lobby, which was under construction. And, I don't blame the bear. Bears aren't stupid, Yep. Bill says hit the like button. 4th of July koozie, which reminds me that's on Friday. What's that? 4th of July? I think that's when I started my first show. Next month, it'll be June. Yeah, the 4th of July was when I started my first show. Yeah, it was on Thursday. You're right. Yeah, because last year I started my first show, 4th of July. I kept thinking it was June, but it was July, because June is when Robert stopped doing his show and all that. So, yeah, anyway, there was a bear that, decided to hang out in the condo lobby that was under construction. And maybe he's just trying to stay cool, right? And think about the bears were there first. They were there first. So I don't blame the bear for, thinking about living the condo life, right? And then we go on to the porcupine. How do you say it? Porcupine or porcupine? I told you, me and my words. I told you I was going to mess it up. How do you say it? A porcupine, right? Porcupine, stowaway. They found a porcupine stowaway in a wrecked plane that they were transporting more than 500 miles in British Columbia. The wildlife rescue got the porcupine, and now it's living its best life. There's a bear in there. Porcupine. Porcupine. It's not porcupine. It's porcupine. There's a bear in there. That's right. So, yeah, that's pretty funny because, the animals were there first. But you can imagine that porcupine, who knows how long that he was living in that wrecked plane, right? And they didn't know that there was even anything living in there till they drove 500 miles, and there's a porcupine looking at him like, what the heck? And then Scuba says Harvey. So say it really fast and it won't matter. That's right. Harvey. Oh, who's Harvey? I love reading the chat. I crack myself up too. I do all day long. Did you guys read, and gals, did you read about the escaped zebra? They had an escaped zebra causing chaos on a Tennessee highway, ran away from home. What do you do? How do you do an Amber Alert for a zebra, right? I'm thinking the zebra was probably looking for the ark. And he was like, I'm out of here. I'm going to find Noah's Ark and I'm going. You know what I mean? Tony says, did I just lose feed? No, I can see you. I can see you, Tony. I can see me. Can you guys see me? Scuba says, get more feed. Did I just lose feed? What do you mean feed? And feed in what? Feed. She's back. Oh, did my internet go or something? Oh, that's weird. Because I'm okay here. I didn't say anything that went crazy or whatever. Yeah, so hopefully they caught the zebra, right? Will Fly says, I see you just fine. Tony says we got fast internet. Yeah, you got when you get in your house and everything, Tony, then you get all your cable stuff and your fast internet, and it'll be so fun to fix up the house the way you want to, in your style and everything. So, and the doggy has a yard now too. Your puppy's got a yard now. That'll be really nice. All right. Nothing like a fenced yard. I hope you got a fenced yard. So yeah, so the zebra, who knows, right? And then a bobcat was found inside a Colorado home, and they thought they could distract the bobcat with lasers. You know how you play with the kitties with lasers, those laser pens. But they showed the bobcat just chilling on the shelf in their living room, and they they tried to distract him with a laser light, but he wasn't impressed. Can you imagine that, having a tiger, having a bobcat in your house and try to get rid of him? What do you say to the bobcat, right? Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Tony said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna scroll to the chat here. Oops. Oh yeah, Scuba was asking about Tony's talking about crazy stuff when he gets in his new bedroom. Yeah, Scuba, I saw your comment. There is Holland, Michigan has a fly-in coming up this month. But it's like 4 hours away, and I don't have anybody to get me down there to Holland, Michigan. Otherwise, I'd go. Yeah, they've got a fly-in in Holland, Michigan. And then sometimes they do fly-ins downstate, St. Joseph's, Michigan. I think that's Mike Cotter, where Mike Cotter is. They do fly-ins there. So anyway, Greg Laney. Hey, Greg Laney, welcome. Just back from the home repair store. From the Home Depot? Or are you at Lowe's? At the Lowe's. Let's see what else. I still got more stuff here. Not that one. That's for later. We're going to talk about all different things here. So we got that one. Let me see. I'm looking at my notes. Bear with me here because I know I had a lot more written down here for you guys. Let's see. So you found the bear, the bobcat. What's this one? Not that one. Okay, we did that. Uh-oh. I'm missing notes. What's this one? Oh, here we go. Okay. I found some more. Do you not drive, Linda? I don't have a vehicle. I sold my truck before I left Arizona. So, because I didn't want to deal with it. So, I really don't drive around much. I don't drive that much. If I need anything, whatever, I've got my little shuttle bus takes me around or whatnot for my appointments, or my son, son gets me on my appointments, Angela. So, there's no reason to, I don't even think I could afford to even have a vehicle right now, on the insurance and all that. This is just me. So, it's okay. It's okay. So anyway, everybody, do you know that so you're going to have to listen now. Okay, I got Greg in here too. Scott's here. Angela, Tony, Will Fly. Let's see. And Scooby-Doo and Munchkin, everybody, and Bill H. They're all in the house tonight in the Treehouse. So I'm going to pick one word tonight, and then you guys are going to have to guess what word. Greg Laney says you need to go the way of the paramotor fly-ins, get an e-device to get around. Scooter, one wheel. Yeah, just what I need. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just what I need is I could just see me wrecking on one of those, on those e-bikes. Yes, but it's like 24-inch, Scuba says. So, okay, so everybody's going to pay attention because I'm picking one word tonight, and then you're going to have to guess the word at the end of the night, what the word of the night was, okay? So now more news. The iconic Goodyear blimp is 100 years old. Is that crazy? And they named it Pilgrim, and it took its first flight June 3rd, 1925. Isn't that crazy? The blimp, Goodyear blimp. And it says the Goodyear blimp consists of 3 North American airships. Did you guys know that about the blimp? It's pretty cool, huh? And they don't actually give, like, you can't just, pay tickets or get tickets and go up in the air in them. I think it's just they use it for special occasions. My mom has a sitting scooter for flying. She's 78 and loves it. Well, I'm not 78 yet. I'm not there yet for a sitting scooter. But that's a good idea to have that, though. That really is, Greg. That really is. I just turned 70, so I'm not far behind. What's great? Gosh, this is going too fast. This is where I need my I'm going back. Let's see. I see you just fine. Okay, we got that one. And I answered that question. And then Tony's talking about the mirror and the ceiling mirror in his bedroom. Will says don't use spray glue. Scuba says I have a giant disco ball you should put up. And Greg Laney said he was back. I'm trying to get caught up on the chat. And yeah, 4 hours is too far to walk. Now I wonder where to put the swing. Angela asked if I drive. I said, if I really had to, of course, I've got a driver's license. And we'll keep going here. Paramount, you need to go get a unicycle. And my mom, and he said his mom was on one. Scuba says what's crazy is in the 80s when I graduated, it was 40 years ago. And Angela says zebra. Earthquake. Yes. Walter says Cletus flew the blimp. It was amazing in flight, very maneuverable. Goodyear blimp. Yeah. Will says I flew around the Shark Tank blimp in one of my videos. Greg Laney says I didn't realize I knew a person so old. You are ancient at Scuba. And Scuba's cracking up. No, I'm ancient. I'm older than all, yeah. Scott says she needs to make the chat text bigger. I need to make the chat text bigger. Why, Scott? I just have to scroll through so I can follow it. I can see it and I can read it and everything, you know, with my my glasses, my bifolds or whatever. Yeah, so back to the Goodyear blimp. They said that the Goodyear blimp consists of 3 North American airships. And it says one is called Wingfoot 1, and that's out of, Greg Laney says, you are young at heart. That's right. That's right. Yeah, Greg Laney, I went, words of the day. You just have to listen all stuff I'm talking about, and then you have to, you'll have to figure out what word that I picked for the day. Okay. All right. So you can win something, Angela. So the Goodyear blimp consists of 3 North American airships, Wingfoot 1, which is out of Akron, Ohio. Akron? I never say things right here. Wingfoot 2 is near Pompano Beach, Florida. Pompano? I'm probably like totally destroying these words. Angela says, I come from a land down under. There you go. There you go. Wingfoot 2, is near Florida, and then Wingfoot 3 is near Carson, California. So they have one in Akron in Ohio, one in Florida, and one in California. The Goodyear blimp. Isn't that crazy? That is so crazy. And then we had, I was reading about 2 alligators. Linda, say this word. Pequoson. Angela, what the fudge? Walter says, Angela, what the fudge? Linda, say this word. Pequoson. What is that? Pequoson? I never seen that word. What is it? Fudge. I love hot fudge sundaes. I love ice cream, but I can't eat ice cream anymore. It doesn't like me. But yeah, I was reading that they've been finding people in Florida, or even North Carolina, have been finding alligators in their pools. And swimming in their pool. Somebody came out and there was 2 alligators in their swimming pool. Isn't that crazy? Greg Laney, my first condo was in Delray. Pocosun. Munchkins is laughing. What the heck is a Pocosun? And then, I can't imagine like getting ready to jump in my pool and there's a couple alligators swimming around the pool. And there've been a lot of different animals, been seen, like showing up everywhere. And why is because they were there first, right? Angela says, stop showing off your Mandarin, Munchkin. Greg Laney says, my dad owned Delray Auto Sales, a car lot on Federal Highway across the flea market back in the day. It ain't Mandarin, it's Indian, she said. And so one last thing, Australian women competed in pull-ups in 24 hours. And, with the pull-ups, the bar thing, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, she did 7,079 pull-ups in 24 hours, nearly doubling the previous Guinness World Record. Is that crazy or what? Angela says, still showing off, beautiful. How about Nassau ducks? Boy, we got some tongue twisters going on here. Indian like how, or like Indian like would like a Slurpee. Slurpees are good. Yes, Slurpees are good. So that's the news. The news. Yes. I don't think let's see, make sure. And we'll get on with some questions. I'm going to pick your brains here. We already did yeah, we did all the animals, and God bless them, right? And if we have any viewers and watchers and lurkers that are all watching me tonight on Paramount USA, and this is Lindy's Treehouse, and I'm here every Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here with my chatters. And if you're just watching or whatever, jump in the chat, say hi. We don't bite. We really don't. We have a good time up in the Treehouse. And if you see the Treehouse and you're like, what's this Treehouse show all about? What is this all about? What is she all about? And we're all about just hanging out with each other, telling stories, talk about life, my life, your life. We have Thursday nights is just a feel good night to be thankful for each other. And that's pretty much what my show is about. It's not all based on, paramoting, which we do talk about paramoting, but it's more about just getting together and talking about life and just talking about things and saying silly things in the chat. And I'm seeing possums again in my yard this year. I've been hearing there's been a lot of possum sightings lately. Will Fly says, Greg Lane, do you remember the show and Sell Paper? Scott says, I'm seeing possums again in my yard this year. Ugh, they're ugly. Possums are ugly. My sister's getting a lot of chipmunks in her yard. Alvin! Remember Alvin and the Chipmunks? So innocent. Stuff we used to watch. Real or imagined, Scott? Snag me at BB. I can't imagine. Yeah, I've seen a possum. A possum showing up in my yard. Oh, Scott, how is that foot? How is that foot? Are you still, are you able to walk on it yet? Or you got a boot? Or what's going on? Let's take another swig here. Wow. I'm glad I'm not in Texas right now. I'm watching my storm chasers on my TV, and they're getting hit really bad. Tornadoes. Like I said, I had a good walk to the bayfront today, and it really wasn't that bad. I can tell I'm really getting into shape now. I'm getting, they say the older you get, you need to walk. You need to keep moving. You need to keep your brain going, right? When you get 70. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay, I'm going still in a splint. No walking. Got a CT scan tomorrow. I hope they figure it out. Greg Lane says opossums are a version of the marsupial. Australia got the cute ones. We got the tick eaters. I love koalas. Yes. Scuba says our boss ripped a calf muscle or something funny watching him limp around the office. Ooh, that hurts. That has to hurt. Oh my gosh. Seriously. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions now, okay? We're going to have some fun here. We're going to have some fun. Some fun questions I found. All right, you ready? And you can put in the chat. I'll have to really pay attention now, what you guys are saying. Cute ones, kangaroos, Greg says. Greg Lane, Will Flies, Greg Lane, I put that paper together. Used to live in the condos across from the public on Federal Highway. All right. If you can have one thing free for life, what would it be? All right. Would it be flights, food, concert tickets, gas, hotel rooms, clothes, and shoes? If you could have one thing free for the rest of your life, what would it be? Would it be flights, food, concert tickets, gas, hotel rooms, clothes, and shoes? And go. And I'm going to try and watch the chat so I can see your answers. Which part? Okay, which part, Scott? I got to disagree with Scuba. Greg Laney says paramotor wings. The paramotor wings, It has to be flights, food, concert, gas, hotel rooms. Flight. So Greg says paramotor wings. Will Fly says flights. Walter says Greg, big ones will scare you 6 to 7 feet. He's probably, he's talking about the kangaroos. Scott says Olympian part I can relate. And Greg says, oh, their option, flights. Okay. Scott says money, free money. Well, it has to say flights, food, concert tickets, gas, hotel rooms, or clothing. Has to be which one? Which one would you, if you could have one thing free? Scuba says, let's see here. Okay. Scuba says, Scott, well, he did it by not stretching and trying to run, I think playing pickleball. Greg says, Walter, there have been some videos with mean kangaroos. I like seeing them from a distance. I got to remember, speaking of, pulling muscles and stuff, I have to remember, and I always forget to warm up before I walk. I do my stretching before I walk. And I don't think about it till I'm going down the stairs to go out the door, right? That I'm like, oh, I should have, I should have done my stretching, I should have stretched my legs, whatever. And I always forget. And I have to start doing that. I need to do a little more stretching before I go on my walk so I don't hurt anything. Okay, so you guys gave me your answers then. I think I got all your answers. What's the one thing that you free for life? Mine would be concert. No. I would love clothes and shoes. Not that I really buy a lot of clothes. I really don't, because I'm not because I don't work anymore. I'm trying to scroll down here. All right, here we go. Hotel rooms would be a close second. Yeah. What about the drop bears, Walter? Greg says if we had bad apples and other flying luxury hotels, my answers would change. Scott, you've heard of them. Walter says. Scott says, I've heard they are nasty buggers. So, all right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, pay attention now, okay? What grocery items, no refrigeration, but is often refrigerated by most people? What grocery item is that doesn't need refrigerated, but you refrigerate it anyway, but it's often refrigerated by most people? You can put your answers in there. Did y'all hear the question? Because I'm just playing this little game here. What grocery items don't need refrigeration, but are often refrigerated? Greg Lane says apples and jelly. Okay. All right. Scuba says butter. I always put my butter in the fridge. Always. I think my parents used to leave the butter out all the time. I always keep my butter in the fridge. Gosh. And I even confection sugar. I have confection sugar I keep in the fridge, keep it fresh. Because it's just me, so I don't eat all this stuff. I even put my loaves of bread in the fridge too, because, it's just me, so the bread doesn't get ate up real fast, Oh, eggs. Yeah, absolutely. You got to put eggs. Eggs have to stay refrigerated, stay fresh or whatever. I mean, I always put them in the fridge, but yeah. And mustard, well, mayonnaise, obviously, but mustard and ketchup. I always, keep that in the fridge. Coffee creamer stays in the fridge, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Thank you for your answers, everybody. Doing really good. Let's see. What's something small that instantly makes your day better? Like, what is something during the day that's not, the little things in life that sometimes just make your day? Scott says, Walter, they wash off the natural coating on eggs in the U.S., so you have to refrigerate them here. That's true, Scott. That's true. What's something small that instantly makes your day better? Walter, a pill. Good answer. I didn't even think about that, a pill. Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that answer. There you go. There you go. Well, for me personally, I was coming back from my walk, and there was a couple my age. Scuba says cash. Yeah, yeah. There you go. There was a couple that were sitting outside a restaurant, and they had the little doggy, this cutest dog. And as I'm walking up the sidewalk, they have the dog on the leash, and let's see. Greg says chocolate, a shot, or a nap. There you go. A blue pill, Walter Scott says. I love these answers, you guys. I love these answers. It's hilarious. And they were sitting there with the little dog. And as I walked the sidewalk, they had the little dog on the leash. And the little dog saw me. And the dog's like going all crazy, like I'm his best friend, And it was the cutest thing ever. And I came up, and of course I love little puppy dogs and all that. So I petted the little doggy and went on my way and told the people, have a nice day. God bless, little things like that just make my day. They really do. Or even, walking by, heck, I was heading to the bay and I'm going across the crosswalk and I'm just, trying to watch the traffic, and a young gal walked by me and said, have a great day, and I didn't know her from squat, right? So Scott says Viagra is a little blue pill. Oh, Lord. But anyway, to me personally, that little things like that, where people go out of their way and say hello to you. I had a couple of people, I'm walking in the bayfront, just walked by me and said hello, And so it's pretty nice, those are the kind of things. And that's what this show's about. We all be nice to each other and think about what makes your day. Scott says cricky. All right, now here's another one. This is pretty good. That English word you do not agree with the spelling, but you accept it for the sake of peace. What word that you don't agree with the spelling, but you accept it for the sake of peace? P-E-A-C-E. What word would it be? Cricey. What's a cricey? Walter's going to teach us some lingo, some Aussie lingo. Yes. Cricey. Yeah, what's an English word you do not agree with, but you accept it for the sake of peace? Irregardless. Oh, that's a good one. What word? What is a good one? For the sake of peace, except for the sake of peace. What word that I don't agree with? See, I even have to think of it. But somebody was talking about naps here. Walter says, when you are so young to have to take a nap, you don't want to. But when you can't take a nap regularly, naps are the best thing ever. Crikey. Scuba says, just got a message from UPS package on the way from unknown company. Probably those strips, Will. And Greg Lane says flat top. Okay. Walter says therefore. All right. When they talk about when are those your when they put, are those, and so like how are you, or how do you say your yeah. So I hear you're going to someplace or whatever. Or they'll say, you are going to, I don't know, something to do with your, that they always say it different. They always say different. So, yes. So we got that. Contractions. Oh, contractions. Wasn't there something in English class that we had to learn contractions? What was contractions? Your versus your. Oh yeah, that's it. That is, Greg. That's it. Your verse. Yes, what you said. Yep. And Scott says your. Yeah. That makes me crazy. Yes. Your. That makes me crazy. I found this really cute quote, and then we're going to go into, because I know we have to do the word of the night because everybody's waiting. Then we're going to do my little Jeopardy. All right. We'll do some Jeopardy. We'll guess some Jeopardy. You're there, etc. Greg says, yell Walter Peoria if you want to sound like a Southerner. I always say yell. I do. I guess brought that from Arizona or something. Hey, y'all. Yeah. So, you know how we talk about the treehouse, right? And the meanings of treehouse and all that. And I found this really cute quote, and I'll read it to you guys in a little bit. But I think it's really cool. Or maybe I should read it to you now while you're all paying attention, right? Just as a tree grows branches, reaching out here and there before it gains its ultimate height, man's mistakes serve as the branches of his own growth, offering footholds for climbing higher. How cool is that? Walter says, I want to be an American. WHANA. Yeah. And there versus there. Yeah. Remember that? Remember when I did a show about weather? Remember? Weather. I see whether you care or not. Or how's the weather? Remember when I did that show on weather? That was pretty cool. But I love that saying, just as a tree grows branches, reaching out. I love this. I get into so many quotes and stuff that I see, during the day. And, I do my Bible reading in the morning and then, scroll on Facebook all day till I can't see anymore. All right, let's play Jeopardy. And then I think at 9:30, we'll probably, we'll just probably say goodnight or whatever. Will Fly says, Walter Peoria, it's overrated. Trust me. So, okay, you ready? These are Canadian events. Are you guys familiar with Canadian events? Because I'm playing Modern Jeopardy trivia here. Walter says, the weather will be. There you go, Walter. Yep, I used to talk about the weather. Whether they care or not. Or let's watch the weather. Okay, so we got Canadian events. Okay, so we're doing some Modern Jeopardy trivia. So you got to pay attention, okay? For $100 in 1969, the Official Language Act came into effect, making these two the official languages of Canada. What are the two official languages of Canada? And no cheating, no Googling, because then it takes the fun out of it. All right, because I know this is a little bit delayed. So what are the two official languages of Canada? Let's see. Will Fly said French and English. Ding, 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 ding. Scuba said French and English. Ding, 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 ding. Good job. That's right. You guys are smarty pants. The act declared that all federal government services would be available in French and English starting September 7th of 1969. How cool is that? That's so interesting, isn't it? I didn't know that. All right, for $200, created in 1989 and led by Larkin Kerwin. The CSA stands for this agency. What is it? Greg said it first, Will said. Yeah, this is not the one to win a prize. I'm just playing right now. Just keeping the chat, keeping everything going. Scuba says, met a lot of Canada folks in Florida at amusement parks, mainly spoke French. Yeah, well, I'm French Canadian, so yeah, I'm French Canadian, so it's pretty cool. Okay, that's how you know if it's from Mexico or Canada: French and English or Spanish and English. Yeah, I'm French Canadian, so. So what created in 1989, led by Larkin Kerwin, the CSA stands for what? This agency. Greg Laney said the scene from Canadian Bacon where Dan Aykroyd pulls over John Candy about the language on the truck is pretty hilarious. That is a good movie. Yeah. John Candy, rest his soul, right? It's so crazy, all these singers that are having to cancel their concerts and stuff. Rod Stewart, he's like 80 now, isn't he? How old is Rod Stewart? Wake up, Maggie, I think about something inside of you. That's such a good song. He canceled a concert, his concerts in Vegas because he wasn't feeling good. And then who's Billy Joel has some health issues, like something going on with brain cancer or something. And who else? There's a bunch of them. Gary Glaney says, my name was Americanized. My family came from Quebec. My great-grandparents. Oh, this is going so fast. I'm trying to read. Let's see here. I'm going to keep going here. My name was Americanized. My family came from Quebec. My great-grandparents were Ladley Britte. Yeah, Billy Joel. Yep. Rod is 80, yes. Rod Stewart's 80. Yeah, he lives in Vegas or whatever, and yeah, he had to cancel it or whatever. That's crazy, Greg, because yeah, I'm adopted, but my mom was born in Quebec, and her last name, my birth mom's last name, was Priscilla. Her name was Priscilla, and her last name was Frigette. Yep, which is very French. So in reality, because I'm adopted, my birth mom was born in Quebec, then yes, that makes me French Canadian. And like I said, her last name is Frigette. And then, of course, remember I told you I found out I had a cousin down in Mason, Michigan, whose my birth mom was his aunt. So, Mark's last name is Frigette. And 2012, when I came to visit from from Arizona to Michigan, I met Mark in person, and I met his mom, Mark's mom, and very nice little French lady, very sweet. God rest her soul. And yeah, so I have all kinds of I've got all kinds of family, like extended family from being born in Quebec, and Vermont. I have a lot of family in Vermont. So Greg Lane said I have newly discovered relatives in Canberra, but that's a story from around the campfire. Yeah, well, we're around the campfire, so it's all good. I love these stories. So getting back to that one with Canadian, I'll tell you guys what it is. They said what the CSA stands for, Canadian Space Agency. He said the agency is still active today. I've never heard of this. Completing missions to the International Space Station and partnering with NASA on the Artemis 2 mission to the moon, scheduled for 2026. So, Greg Lane, I think I know how those Canadian wildfires started. Scott says his family's from Northern Ireland. That is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, very interesting, right? The agency is still active today, the Canadian Space Agency. I never heard of it. Okay, here, this is a tongue twister. All right. For $400 in 1999, this area was separated from the Northwest Territories to become Canada's third territory. This is really history. Greg Lane says, whoopsie. Yeah, Canadian fires, pretty scary. Even when I was walking to the Bayfront today, walked by Lake Michigan, it was very hazy. Scott's a Yukon Territory. It says, let's see. In 1999, this area was separated from the Northwest Territories to become Canada's third territory. See if anybody guessed. It's not Yukon, Scott. It's actually called, what is Nunavut? Nunavut, Nunavut, is a vast northern region encompassing the traditional lands of the Inuit people. Jeez, that's a mouthful. I swear. I try though, right? I really sabotage these words, and I don't do it on purpose either. I've never heard of the word Nunavut. Is a vast northern region encompassing. How do you say ENCOMPASSING? Encompassing. Will Flies is TWSS. Okay, so the next one is my Molly's getting hungry. For $600, known as the Skylight Caper, on September 4th, 1972, a heist from an art museum in this Quebec city became the most valuable theft in Canadian history. You guys know? Will Flies is encompassing. Hang check. You doing John? Oh yeah, where's John? He's being awful quiet in the chat. Greg Lane says Montreal. Let me see. No, it's got like yeah, that's right. You got it right, Greg. What is Montreal? The thieves took 18 paintings, 39 figurines, and various pieces of jewelry. Is that crazy? Say it really fast, Linda. No, I'm not going to say it really. Encompassing. There we go. Encompassing, right? Okay. For $800, during the 1970 October crisis, the Prime Minister evolved martial law to crack down on terrorist activities. Who was it? Who was the minister, the Prime Minister that did that? You guys probably know this one. I bet Greg knows this one. During 1970 October crisis, the Prime Minister evoked martial law to crack down on terrorist activities. Can you guys guess who it is? Boy, things have changed with terrorist activities, haven't they? Good Lord. It's more than just martial law. Boy, oh boy. It's a lot more crazy stuff. So it's actually Pierre Trudeau. The action was taken following the political assassination of Canada's Vice Premier, Pierre Laporte. I didn't know that. Wow. So Pierre Laporte was assassinated, and Pierre Trudeau took over. Look at all this history. Greg Lane says Dan Aykroyd. How fun is this, right? Okay. All right, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. For $1,000, the Montreal Protocol of 1987 was signed to regulate substances that deplete this atmospheric layer. Oh, this is easy. They even had Trudeau's all the way back then. Yeah, Greg. Yep. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I love this trivia stuff. Yeah, my like I said, my daughter-in-law gave me all these from work. Um, it's the wing ozone. That's right. That's right. Good job, Greg. Greg's guessing a lot of them tonight. You're right. It is the ozone. Yep. What is the ozone? This is the only UN treaty to have been ratified by every country in the world. Wow, how fun is that, right? How fun is that? So, do we have any golfers out there? You guys golf? Anybody golf? Anybody golf? I have to figure out next week to do some true or false on like questions about paramoting. I'll have to do that. Greg Laney says, Linda, I need you to call my wife and tell her that I was right about something. Okay, all right, I'll do that. Will Fox said, hell no. Walter says 4. Okay, I lost something in the chat here. You guys are talking about something. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Will said, hell no. You know what else? What I hate what people say? I'm going to tell you. That's what I hate. When people are talking, they go, anywho, I heard the signing. Let's see. Oh, Will Fox said he doesn't golf. Okay. So Greg says they were talking about playing golf. All right. I used to like to play the golf. Remember when all the technology was just coming out? What was the name of that golf game? You go to the bar and you could play the golf game on that computer thing or whatever. And then pinball. I used to love Pinball Wizard, the pinball. Y'all remember the pinball machines? We're going back to the what do you call it? Where all the games and stuff are. Whack-a-mole, Golden Tee. Yes. Yeah, Golden Tee. Is that what it was? Is that what it was called? Yeah. But I just remember, I remember I remember going to the arcade and playing, going to the arcade and playing the pinball. Remember the song? Who sang Pinball Wizard? Who sang that song? We're going way back. I'm going to pick your brains. Who sang Pinball Wizard? Pinball Wizard. Remember that? I know who sang it. Who sang Pinball Wizard? Elton John? No, not Elton John. No, not Elton John. Nope, not Elton John. It wasn't Elton John. Nope. You remember? The Who? Scott got it right. Ding, 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 ding. The Who. That's right. They, that's such a good. I want to hear that song again. And I started thinking, like I watch all my podcasts on TV, but I need to start listening to more music. Okay. I miss music. Well, now that, I don't drive anywhere, so it's not like getting my truck and I remember when I had my truck, when had the CD player, it was a nice truck, but it was a 2003 Ford F-150. And it was a good little truck. But then I started having issues with it. And the only way I was going to get it down here from Arizona was I would have to drive it. And I don't think I would have made it. So I just sold it. I sold it before I left Arizona. But it was a good truck. It really was. And of course, driving through Sun City, because I lived in a retirement community, the posse, they knew my truck. They would find me. They would be hiding in the nooks and crannies, on the side streets and stuff. And I'd be going to work and trying to get to work, and they would get me. They would find me, pull me over, saying, because the speed limit going through a neighborhood was 25 miles an hour. And one time I was going like 5 or 10 miles over, and they pulled me over. I only got out of 2 tickets. I got out of 2 tickets. Must have been my beauty or something. I don't know. But anyway, if you guys were paying attention to the chat, and I've still got stickers and I still got koozies to give away and all that stuff. Scott said that was a very repetitive song, Scuba. Like a G6, I mean. Yes. So, okay, so I'm going through because I have to think of a word. And if you guys are all still listening, what we talked about earlier. What word should I use for tonight? What word? Let's see. Let me think. All right. Let's go with, let's see. I'm thinking of a word. Okay. Yes. Gerbil. Yes, but something reminded me of it earlier. Let's see. What word am I going to use tonight? What have we talked about? Let's do, all right. I got the word. Oh, Greg Laney, you guessed it. How did you know that I was going to? Greg got it. Blimp. How did he know? Greg Laney, you won, dude. Greg Laney won. I just thought of it in my head. Greg Laney, you must be the AI guy or something. Because how would you know that was even? Seriously. Yeah, I think so. We all have a chip planted. Seriously, that was the word. I was going to kind of go with it, and just say, God, I just feel so bloaty, blimpy tonight. But I didn't want to say all that because I give it away. But that, honestly, I'm not saying that just because. But Greg, yes. Greg, congratulations, Greg. So, Greg, what do you want a koozie? Tell me which koozie you want. You want the tie-dye or you want the American flag? Since Greg guessed the word. I'm glad I caught that in the chat. Walters is not fair. No questions. Straight to the answer. Heck. Well, you just had to, okay, the flag. No, Walter, you had to listen to see what word we talked about, what subjects we talked about. And then you had to guess that word. And Greg, you can just DM me your address again, and I'll get the koozie out to you in the next couple of days. Congratulations. I know it was weird. Honestly, I was getting ready to talk about it, and then Greg guessed it. He guessed it. Congratulations, Greg. Scuba says, I would do giveaways, but I'm too lazy to ship. Well, I'm all retired, so I got time to do that stuff. I just went out and I got on Amazon and ordered all the bubble, the bubble mailers. And then I got my nice, pretty mailing labels. So I can follow on the lines, all that stuff. And I got my stamps from Amazon. And so I'm all set. So every week I can give something away. So everybody's listening. We do have a lot of fun with this in the chat, and everybody deserves to win something. And I will get better at, figuring out the word of the night or whatever as we do the show and everything. So before I say goodnight, Scuba says, yeah, I'm at work after PO classes. Yeah. I I just enjoy giving stuff away. I do. I am going to I'm going to see if I can find some 4th of July koozies. I'm going to get on Amazon and see what they got. Maybe get some 4th of July, This is okay. You guys, I got my chatters here, and whoever jumps in the chat, and I lost Angela and Tony because they're packing and moving and all that. And, I don't do the word thing till the end of the show. I want to thank my chatters for everybody jumping in tonight. You will need to have some Australia koozies for Aussie brethren. Yes. I saw some really cute ones. They got some really cool ones out there. And so I'm going to read this out of my book. I always read my little quotes and everything because that's what Thankful Thursday is about, right? All of us, everybody, getting together, talking about their day, talking about life, talk about things that make them happy. We do our little trivia, our Jeopardy, and you guys do really good. I wish I had a co-host. It'd be really nice to have one, but I just want to say shout out just to my other chatters, to JD and Eric. I love you bunches, and Wheezy if you're watching. And I miss Linda Kramer. I miss my gypsy. I do. I check on her every day. I really do. And so tomorrow night it's Scooby-Doo show, Scuba Vapes. So you can catch him on Friday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then Tuesday we have the No Filter, right? I always make my notes because by the end of the show, we have Tuesday night hangouts with Will Fly, Nick J, and Shane at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday. We love it. Munchkin would be a great co-host, but I don't think she wants to do it 2 nights in a row because she already does it on Friday night. So, I mean, that'd be cool if I could get it on there, but have her join me. But it's hard with them, working all day and everything. I don't know, but it's up to, I'm taking applications. So whoever, if you want to join me just for one night, Linda is too PG. I try to keep it PG, Munchkin. Yeah, I do. Because I have family that watches this too. So, I have Robert watches it and all that stuff. Will Fly said then it's settled. See you next Thursday, Munchkin. I'm going to get you, sucker, Munchkin said. So, and then Thursday night, of course, it's Lindy's Treehouse, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time every Thursday. When you see my show, and I'm Paramount USA, and this is Lindy's Treehouse, and what you see is what you get. Yep, I don't fake nothing. I love my chatters. I love my viewers. I really appreciate all my subscribers. You guys mean the world to me. You really do. And I couldn't do it without you. I'm so grateful for your support. I really am. The loyalty means the world to me, that we can hang out every Thursday. I really do. And it's not how many people are in the chat. It's the people that want to be there. And Scuba says, better wear my socks tomorrow, and Will tribute. There you go. I can't wait. When you guys go up in the air, you're going to have, I want to see those socks. People are going to say, where'd you get those? So congratulations, Greg Laney. Greg Laney won a koozie. So I get that out to you, Greg. I really appreciate your loyalty, and I appreciate everybody's loyalty being on my show, coming to my show, climbing up in my treehouse, and we just talk life and everything. And thumbs up, y'all. Lindy deserves that. Scott says haven't watched that in a long time. Yeah, I do. I appreciate everybody. So I'm going to read this really quick, okay? Because I always read something out of my book, because that's what we do at Lindy's Treehouse. It's all about life, and I always want everybody to leave the treehouse feeling good. feeling good about themselves. Yeah, I like to lift people up, not literally lift them up, but yeah. So, yeah, where's just the tip at? So here, I'm going to read this to you, okay? All right. This is pretty cool. I love this. All right, everybody ready? Just pretend that we're all, let's see, Walter says I'm watching the action in the treehouse instead of live drag racing. How's that, Linda? I love you, Walter. I love you, Sugar. We go way back, don't we, on these live streams in the chats. Greg Laney, take a video of you putting your bottle in Lindy's koozie. Yes, I do. Okay, so everybody gather around the campfire. Pretend we're around the campfire. Okay, all right, and you can give me ideas what you would like to talk about on the shows. But you like what you like to talk about in the chat or whatever subjects and just DM me and say, hey, why don't let's talk about this next week? That would be fun. Or give me some ideas. Okay. Walter says I'm in. All right. Okay. So new journeys await you. Decisions lie ahead, wondering what you will do, where you will go, how you will choose when the choices are yours. Remember that good decisions come back to bless you over and over again. Work for the ability to choose wisely, to prosper, to succeed. Listen with your heart as well as your head to the glimmers. I love that word, glimmers, of truth that provide advice and inspiration. And let those truths take you to beautiful places. And this part here, this is my favorite, if everybody's listening, because you're all cracking me up here, because I'm not really following the chat, because I'm reading you guys this, gals. Touch the sky, and in your reach, believe, achieve, and inspire. I hope your tomorrows take you to the summit of your goals, and your joys take you even higher. So, yeah, I like that. That's my favorite part. Touch the sky, and in your reach, believe, achieve, and inspire. I hope your tomorrows take you to the summit of your goals, and your joys take you even higher. So that's from me to you. That's for you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Walter. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, I get so inspired. And that's why I want you all to, as you leave the show, that I always want people, when they leave the show, that they feel inspired. Even my viewers, people that watch it later because they're working, they can't get on until later or whatever. John Wayne says Paramotors does all of that. That's right, John Wayne. That's right, Cowboy. You guys are awesome. Now you made me cry. Oh my gosh. I just, I do. I want to make, like I said, I love to see people happy. I do. And I love to see people succeed. And that's why I do the show. I tell you guys all the time. I don't do it just for me, to show my beautiness every Thursday night, out there to everybody. And YouTube land, I do it for me, and I do it for you. I do it for my viewers, and I'm not for everybody, and that's just life, right? That's just life, and we just do what we got to do. So I will see you all next Thursday right here, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with all the cray world that we live in right now, I'm blessed that we can all get together on Thursday night and just connect and just talk and all that good stuff, right? And that I know that everybody's doing well, because you are my family. You are my para family. Yes, everybody. I love you bunches. I love my viewers, everybody. Big hearts in the chat. We always do that. Just remember, God loves you. Say your prayers and all that. And yeah, and Scuba says, just do you. It's good to vent and talk every week. I've been doing that a long time. Scuba, I love your show. I do. I love your show. And you and Munch can do a great job. I enjoy it. Y'all make me laugh. And that's what this show's about, too. We want people to, when they leave, they'll say, that was really fun. And I love you, too, Walter. And I still have the koala you gave me, that you sent me a couple years ago. I still have it in my room on my shelf, in my bedroom. I love that koala. Yes. Since I still collect koalas. I can never get enough of them. I was at the thrift store the other day and I picked up another koala bear. So it's pretty fun. And Scuba says, I want a real one. No crying, Linda. I know. I get some days, I just look around and I just feel so blessed to have all of you, in my life. And yeah, y'all make me feel good. And yeah, I couldn't have done the show without you, with all you, all your support, not the money part either. And that's why I decided to start giving little things away. And yeah, when I get to the dollar store, I'll be finding some more goodies to send out. And we'll just have fun with it, right? That's what we do. We have fun with everything. So anyway, I'm going to grab a quick snack. I'm going to close everything up and call it a night. And I just want to thank you all. And if everybody's who's watching, you can watch me later. Just make sure that you hit the like button. Please, please, please hit the like. Subscribe. I got a new subscriber. I don't know who it is, but thank you. And Scuba says torch even. I hope I can get back to Torchport next year. Yeah, there's no fly-ins nearby. There's one that's like 4 hours in Holland, Michigan, 4 hours away or whatever. And so yeah, I love to get my tandems. I do, and I'm glad that I did do the 3 years in a row. I was hoping to go for 4, but there's a reason for everything, right? You never know. So anyway, but you guys, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. I know it's late for some of us and all that stuff. And I'll be jumping in the chat tomorrow night, Friday night. Yeah. I don't know what else is. There's something else that was going on tomorrow night too. I was going to watch. There's another dude on my YouTube that he's on there, and Scuba. I like that. I like those. The little paramotor, little paramotor thingy, whatever. I still have my paramotor thing that Eric gave me, hanging up. It's on my ceiling fan, so I can look at it every day. So, love you, Munchkin. I love you bunches. I love you. I love all of you. I really, really appreciate. And as JT would say, right? Live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love. Yep. Live, laugh, love. JT, I know you're up there listening. This is for you. Live, laugh, love. We want to carry your spirit forever. Okay. So y'all have a safe evening. Okay. Be good. Jesus loves you. Say your prayers. And I like that, Munchkin. That's cute. I like that little heart. It's very cute. But I love you too, Munchkin. I do. I wish I could meet you in person. If I had a private plane, or something, I could get over and can meet everybody. I don't know. Do I need a boyfriend? No, probably not. I don't know. We'll see. You never know, right? You never know. It's when I'm not looking. Here they come. All right. Here they come. So anyway. All right. I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to move this up here to the end of the stream. And I'll see you. If I don't see you in the air, if I don't see you on the air, I'll see you in the air. Right? Right. Right. Love you bunches. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Much love. I appreciate every one of you. Appreciate every one of you. You guys mean the world to me. So, see you later. Night owl. Bye. Gotta end it, end it, end it. Bye. Are we ending? We're ending. Are we ending? No, we're still live. There it goes. Come on. Yes, we're ending it. Bye. I'm trying to leave. I am. It won't let me leave. Here we go. Okay.